Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa alihi tayyibin tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Our dearest elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. From last year, we have tried to do something, especially when it comes to Muharram and Azadari. Many of us will recall 20, 30 years ago, when Muharram used to start until Arba'in or a little after that, the community used to be in a sober state. As you can see, the mimbar, all the walls, there's black cloth, the curtains are black. And we wanted this atmosphere not to only be at the mosque, it also should be reflected in our daily lives, which actually is the purpose of this community center. Whatever happens here, for example, like we don't allow plastic use in the complex as much as possible. We don't allow things that impact the environment negatively or our health, so on and so on. We don't allow soda, for example, during Niyaz. These things are not for only the center. It's actually supposed to be what the community is guiding the community members towards, because this imambara or the masjid is not the community. We are the community members, as we are the people who come here. So on that same basis, we had said that from last year, one of the major changes we made was there was no sharbat on Ashura, which there was not this year either. Because it doesn't make sense to drink such a nice drink on the worst day of the year. I asked somebody, would you drink this drink if I gave it to you when your father died or your mother died? Probably not. Or I gave you an ice cream cone, ice cream kha, my mother guzri ka chawai, zayad said ice cream kha. Or most probably you will not do it, you'll be in a state of mourning. And that same mindset has to be reflected in us as the community. So last year we stopped Sharbat on Ashura on the 7th or 8th night, whichever is given to Zaheerabbas as for his night. That day there was Sharbat because the real reality is that the calamity of Karbala and the musibah that happened on the Al-Bayt was not on the 8th or 9th of Muharram, it was on the 10th of Muharram, which was actual day of the Shahadat and the battle. So basically practical steps towards sensitizing the community and getting that feeling, more you can say evident and prominent in ourselves. One of the things which we did last year was we had said no sports. From the 1st of Muharram until Arba'in, there'll be no sports. Now, the effect of that, instead of it being positive, is becoming negative. And anything when the initiative is supposed to take people closer to religion or closer to Allah and it has an adverse effect, adjustment must be made. I've said this before, that when we reverse a decision, it doesn't mean that we are succumbing or being weak to the demands of people. We are not. But something which you look at the greater good. I remember a few years ago there was a very good initiative by the previous committees to have Niyaz before Majlis. Honestly speaking, it is a good initiative because health-wise, it is much better to eat earlier. The attendance was better because obviously people had come early. Like nowadays when the Marthia starts, there are 10 people. That time when the Marthia used to start, there used to be 50 people. But the talk of the whole community was, why is Niyaz first? And I had requested and advised the leadership at that time that look, this having an adverse effect, although your aim is good, and on the same principle, we are also reversing our decision for sports not to be played. So obviously Saturday is Imam Zainul Abidin's wafat. After that, Sunday onwards, the sports committees can continue their sports. Although we are not very happy to make that decision, but we would look at the greater good. An example that comes to my mind was of Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he became the Khalifa and he went to the mosque and said Taraweeh is a bid'ah. And everybody, sunata, this, and so he said, okay, pray. Because he realized, obviously, this will become a source of fitna, but he still did his duty. Imam Ali knew that I'll go to the mosque, but he still did his duty. Stop. No. Okay. Continue. So in the same manner, we tried our best. And our niyyah was not to create difficulty for the community, especially the youth, but it was just to tell them that in these days, don't do normal things. Like for example, and many of us will remember, before our ladies used to remove their jewelry. Okay, they used to wear black clothes. Same with the men, they used to wear black clothes until 2 months. They never used to watch TV, they never used to go out to eat. But nowadays, everything is normal. Once the 10 days or 12 days of Muharram are finished, people go back to their normal lives. When they come at night, then that's when there's wafat, which is something which we need to think about, that Muharram and Safar are not normal days. These are the days when the Ahlul Bayt suffered on our account so that we are guided. So if it is possible, as we have communicated through various channels, through YouTube, through messages, that keep it sober in these days. One other thing which I remember right now was that on Ashura, there was no atano and marchu and whatever, it was just the dish. And I went to, when I was serving, I said, atano che, and they said, nah. So I thought that it's finished. I was told later that the Niyaz committee decided not to have atano and marchu on that day, which was a very good thing, although we were not aware of it. Point is, Ashura is not a normal day, and even next year, inshallah, there will not be sharbat. On the wiladat of Imam Hussein, Zaheerabbas, and any other time when it's an occasion related to these personalities, we will have sharbat. No problem. Rich drink, badam, pista, kesar, ice cream, enjoy it. But on Ashura, for us, it is not a possible concept to fathom that on such a difficult day, we're having such a nice drink. So sports can resume. We request the community to keep a sober mindset. As you can see again, I mentioned that everything here is black. The mimbar is black, not for the mimbar to be black, but it's to remind us that we are not in normal days. So inshallah, with that humble message, we remember the Ahlul Bayt who are right now somewhere on the road. Sayyida Zainab, Sayyida Kulthum, Imam Sajjad, and all the caravan of the Ahlul Bayt right now are being whipped and suffering for us, so that we could be guided and be on the right path which the Prophet brought from the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.